Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Ark Survival Ascended content. So today I am very excited to be able to say that because that means that I finally think Ark is worth the time to spend making content on again. Because I'm not gonna lie, after Ark Survival Evolved got shut down and the reskin, Ark Survival Ascended, got released, I really worried about the longevity of the game because the game was in a really rough spot. There was a lot of issues with the game, not gonna lie. A ton of issues. A lot of craziness went on in the development. A lot of server issues, a lot of instability issues, a lot of issues in general, just issues everywhere you looked. And I honestly thought that Ark was going to go down and never recover. We got to a point to where we were seeing daily active numbers on Steam on Ark Survival Ascended, like 10,000 players. And that was really brutal. That was really bad. It looked like Ark was gonna die. I'm just gonna be straight up. And that really broke my heart too, because Ark has always been my favorite game. I have spent thousands and thousands of hours in this game, in Ark Survival Ascended and Evolved. Played every map, played all the content, did all the things, and still, like no other game has, Ark has kept my interest all these years. I've been playing Ark almost 9 years. It feels weird, really weird to say that I could actually say that about any game, honestly, but to say that I've been playing something over 9 years really goes to show you how much I love this game. And I've had a lot of negative things to say about it over the years. I've made content on Ark for probably about 3 years now. I took a break for a while and haven't made anything for about 4 or 5 months because honestly I was just trying to figure out if Ark was going to survive or not, and I started making content on mobile gaming because that just seemed to be where my interests were leading, because Ark was really letting me down and I just had no desire to play it anymore. And even though I had spent thousands and thousands of hours working on my dinos, and I've spent quite a bit of money on the game and just all kinds of things, I decided to just lock it up and put everything in storage and lock the base up and see how it was going to go. Well, now as you can see, I'm playing on the center map and I'm back folks, and one of the reasons why I'm back is because Ark is finally starting to come out of its tailspin. Now, the developers of the game, Wildcard, have done everything they could do in the last couple weeks to sink this game, man. I mean, Ark is a fighter. Ark is a true fighter. Because we've recently, last week, we had the release of the Extinction map. And that was one that I have been so looking forward to, because Extinction was probably my most favorite map of all. A lot of people would probably say Ragnarok, the island, the center. I'm just going to say that Extinction was my #1 favorite, and now the center probably my #2 favorite. It's a tough call about whether or not Extinction can push out the center though, because obviously you can see I'm on the center right now. The center is become very, very important to me. I have a amazing base on the center and I love it. It's completely changed my game. As you can see, I have a huge water pen right here, and I do all my water dino things in here. And this right here connects to my land base, which is above this. Go over here and show you if I can get out the door. My land base is up here above my water pen. Get some stamina here. Where I have various water taming pens lined up. My water pen base underneath here connects to it really close by. My main land base is right here on this island, and this island is right below Skull Island on the center. So this is right here next to Skull Island, which is such a whoa, what's going on here? Skull Island is right here on the center, is one of the best resource rich areas in the game. So this was kind of why I chose this area when I came to the center. And I'm getting attacked by some megalodons here, folks. I'm gonna have to take this donkey and smash some face. Goodness gracious. A 145, a 130, a 135, a 100. These sharks are out for blood, man. I gotta kill these real quick. Luckily there's not an alpha in here, or else I might be in a little bit of trouble with my donkey. I mean, my donkey's pretty strong, so it can survive some stuff. Come on. Can't get a bite on this guy. There we go. Okay, so now that everything in the ocean is done trying to kick my butt while I'm trying to record here, and I may accidentally die once in a while, so you know, you can laugh at me all you want, because I still have a tendency to die every now and then in Ark. Ark still will take its toll on you. So yeah, I got a great base, got an awesome land base, got some really slick water pens, got my water taming area underneath, and my water pen to grow up my water babies. So yeah, I got a really, really nice base here on the center, and it's been really hard for me to leave the center on account of this, because this base has just got it all for me. It's got land, it's got water, it's got everything. This nice secluded island, tons of resources, alphas everywhere in the ocean over here. The center is just a really good map. I think they've really done a good job with the center, I'll have to say. But when an extinction released, and the whole point of this video, I wanted to talk to you about extinction, and the reason why I finally feel like Ark is coming back is because one of the most important dinos in the game has released. And as you can tell, it's the gachas. With the release of Extinction, we finally got our gachas back, boys, and we're good now. I mean, we're super good. The Extinction release, oh, I hate it when my controller does this. The Extinction release gave us the best dino in the game again. And now that we finally got the gacha back, I mean, we're good. I mean, we've got the best dino in the game finally. I mean, this is a long time coming right here, because Extinction just released the other day, and we've been waiting for months and months and months to get these dudes back. I've missed my gachas so bad. As you can see, I've got 2 pair going right now. I have quite a bit of babies that I'm trying to raise, because I'm trying to get me some females raised up so that I can do some breeding to try to get me some more element gachas, because obviously the element gachas are the you know what. I mean, they're the stuff. As you can see on this one, I've got element dust on its production wheel. I've got 4 of these so far, I've got a male, a female, and then a male and a female. And I'm trying to breed up some more. I got lucky with the breeding on my first pair that I got from extinction and got me some element dust gotchas, and then I cloned one and got a couple now. But I don't really want to clone a lot more. I want to just go ahead and get more through the breeding process, because the cloning is very, very expensive, and I just don't really want to do that. I don't want to spend all my element cloning. I want to use my element for other stuff. I've got my power generator up there in the air with my element in it running my base right now, and I really don't want to spend all my element doing that. So what do I got down here? I got a little bit of element down here, 516. Haven't done any boss fights in a while, because honestly, I just, like I said, I locked Ark down and haven't been playing for a while now. But now that the gotchas are back, I feel really good about coming back to the game. And you can see here my little setup that I got going on. I got my donkey that comes into my base through my underwater doorway, and then pops up through a hole in the floor here. And then I've got my storage box here to collect the stone, because the best way for me to be able to run a element gacha farm is with stone. That just seems to be the most economical thing for me to use. A lot of people like to do a lot of different stuff, but me personally, I just prefer stone, because I feel like that's just one of the better things that you can get easily and load your gachas up with. And I feel like it's one of the better items to actually produce element dust with. If you have figured out how to set up an element dust gacha farm yet, you'll know what I'm saying. It is fairly simple. You just need, well, I mean, I say it's fairly simple, but for a lot of people that didn't get lucky with the breeding right off the bat like I did, it may take you weeks, if not months, to actually get a gacha with element dust on its production wheel. That could take forever. I just got lucky, and my first few breeds, boom, I got one, I cloned it, I made some more, and that's what I'm working on now, is breeding some more up. But yeah, that could have took weeks, because it's such a small percentage that you could possibly get one with element dust on its production wheel. I'm not gonna lie, it's just a crazy low percentage. Like I said, I got like the god roll on that breed. That never happens to me, but it did that time, so I'm not gonna argue. But another thing that they've done to make the setting up of a gacha farm a lot easier is they've enabled the Pegomastax with the ability to pick up gacha crystals. So as you can obviously guess, I'm on an official forum. It's the only way to play, in my opinion. Unofficial forums are fun. They can be super fun if you have a lot of friends that you're playing with that you know in real life. But an official forum is just the way to go for me. Yes, the rates are horrible, and it's really difficult to play at one times. But like right now with this New Year's and holiday event, we've got a 2 times event going on. Don't know what Wildcard's thinking on that one, only having the rates at 2 times. It's nuts, but it is what it is. And right now is a good time for me to be collecting resources and things like that. But one of the things that they did that was really awesome was enable the Pegomastax with the ability to pick up gacha crystals. So as the gachas eat what's in their inventory, and hopefully one of them will drop a crystal right here so you can see it. Nope, didn't drop a crystal. Nope, didn't drop a crystal. Well, it just started eating, so sometimes it takes them a minute to get fired up. But the Pegomastax will pick them up now, and that's really super cool, because on an official forum or on an official server, in other words, we don't have things like crystal crackers and automatic item picker-uppers and things like that sort out items and pick them up for you and do the work of playing the game for you. We don't have those luxuries like you do on an official forum. Those are mods and stuff that we can't play with on official forums. So you got to figure out ways to do things in your base and automate things for yourself whichever way you can. And things like Pegomastax with this ability to pick up the crystals has greatly helped with that. Right now what I do is I use my donkey, and I've got tons of stone out on the ground in the ocean out here by me. So out there in this ocean on the center by Skull Island, I got tons of stone on the surface of the bottom of the ocean. And I go around with my donkey and I collect it, put it in this box, and then I load up my gachas with stone and just let them go. And the cool thing about it is, this one looks like it wants to drop. Oh, it's not dropping a crystal. Let me put some stone in them real quick, because I want them to drop a crystal while we're sitting here talking about it. Why am I not getting any stone? Probably because I got to activate the window. So I want them to drop some crystals while we're sitting here talking, so you can see this little Pegomastax do its thing. Super cool. And so you got to figure out ways to automate your production as best you can. Things like the Pegomastax, the Oviraptor that now picks up eggs, the dung beetle that now picks up feces. It's those kind of things that really enhance the quality of life for Ark players and make the game really cool, in my opinion, because there's always something you can do in Ark and always ways to figure stuff out. That's one of the things I've always liked about this game. There's just so many different things you can do. So many different ways to conquer problems or come up with solutions for things that you're trying to do. So many different ways to build things. So many different... Then there's a crystal. And now we'll get to see him do his thing. Boom, boom. He picked it up. So many different ways to do anything you can think about. That's one of the reasons why I love Ark so much. Now let's look in the Pegomastax and let's see. I've had my gachas, my two pair, this pair and that pair over there, loaded up with stone, working for about, I don't know, 3.5, 4 hours. I'm on an official server, and I'm on ×2 rates right now. Let's see just how many crystals this thing has picked up in 2 or 3 hours. Now I have them both set, and you can see, wow, I'm doing really good. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit of work because I do have to actually gather the stone, and that's what slows the whole process down, is the stone gathering, because these things will chomp like 20 pieces of stone per feeding, and they can actually go through it surprisingly quickly. I can load up their inventory and they can go through a full inventory load of stone in a couple hours. So this many crystals is really, really impressive. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and show you what you can get from these. I'll just pull a few out of the stack right now because I'm trying to do some calculations and I don't really want to use them all up right now, but boom, if I go ahead and open these, you can see that I had my, I had my, let me turn off these tool tips. I had my gacha set to make element dust. So you can see out of those 5 that I opened right there, I got 126 element dust. Doesn't sound like a lot, But in 3 hours, all those crystals and this right here is what I've made. So in 3 hours, I've made probably about 10,000 element dust, which when you do the conversion on it in your inventory and you change it to element, that adds up to 10 element. So in about 3 hours, I've made about 10 element. And this one over here is got a bunch too as well. And this one I have set to element dust and black pearls, because I also have a black pearl gacha as well. And you can see I've got some black pearls and some element dust out of them. Now if I was to open them all up, well, let's just do it. Let's just open them all up, because I want to see my production rate. I want to see how much I'm actually making. And like I said, I've had my farm going for about 3 hours. When I started the video, I was actually in the process of getting some more stone, because I've chomped through about 20,000 stone already this morning. Hey, let's put that coal miner helmet on. I got that from one of the crystals. Didn't even intend to. Oh yeah, that's neat. Let's take all the crystals out of his inventory. And then let's take all the crystals out of this one's inventory. That miner's helmet's really cool. In a cave, those are so much fun. Alright, so I've got all the crystals in my inventory now. Let's open them all and see what we end up with. And I'm going to need to go stand by the boxes, because I guarantee that when I open up all these crystals, I'm going to be super heavy, because I'm going to have a lot of black pearls. So let's just go through and let's just open them. See what we get. I'm just going to take a second. Every 1,000 element dust transfers into 1 element. So I'm actually going to make quite a bit more than I thought I was going to make. It looks like. Because I still have quite a few to go through. I don't know an easier way to open these up. So right now I'm just kind of hitting my inventory and hitting the button. The cracker button is the right controls, trigger on my Xbox controller. You just have to highlight each one and hit the trigger and it cracks it. And it's putting the totals, oh, look at that. It's putting the totals together in my inventory. So as you can see, this is getting pretty insane. So I no longer have a need to go fight alphas for black pearls, because I'm getting all the black pearls I need now, for sure. Just imagine what this would be like if I was doing this with multiple gachas. Right now this is just 2 pair of gacha. And I got some boots, I got a metal behemoth gate, a watering can, and a tree platform. But I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 1,000, 1,200, 1,313 black pearls, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,000 and some change, plus the already 8, almost 9 that I had already. So I've got like 22 element I've made today in about the span of about, I'm going to say 3 to 4 hours. Plus I've made 22 element, 2,000 black pearls in the space of about 4 hours. And all it really cost me was, yes, it did cost me a ton of work to be able to get the element gachas bred up, and some luck. But once you get them, and once you get ones that have element dust on their production wheel, like these do, the element dust, you're golden at that point. Like this one I think has No, it's got element dust as well. And then I have an element dust one over here, and then I think I have one of them with black pearls, set to black pearls. Yeah, this is my black pearl one. So only one gacha set to black pearls, and I made over 2,000 black pearls. So you don't even really have to go insane with this. You don't have to have 50 pair. I could legitimately make, if I played 5-6 hours a day, which when I'm in my prime with Ark, I can put that much time in easily. I could make 30 element a day doing that, and that's just with 2 pair. So imagine if I had like 6 or 7 pair in here, and my base is big enough to where I can set it up, because now they've also changed the distance that the gachas have to be away from each other before they're happy. When they're happy, they produce more, and you can see my gachas over there smiling. They're happy because there's a male and a female together. They're the proper distance away from any other gachas in the area. And that's all you really need to make them happy. Now you can take it to the extreme, and you can do what I'm fixing to do as well as soon as I get time. And let me show you. You can also do what I'm fixing to do and add these bad boys into the mix. Add these bad boys. Now what this is going to do is this is going to get me some snow owls going, but it's also going to give me the ability to make their puke, their throw up. The snow owl pellets are one of the best fertilizers in the game, but their main use for me is to supplement the food in the gachas, which increases the quality of the crystals that they produce. When a gacha is the proper distance away from other gachas, in a mated, or not a mated, but in a male-female pair, and has things like snow owl pellets in its inventory, they'll make some really nice crystals. Now there are other things you can do to increase production. One of them would be the crafting skill. You can increase the crafting skill to about 140% to get the most quality out of your crystals that you can. This one is a level 6. I'm going to leave it alone because I want it to stay a low level in case I decide to make a clone off of it in the future. This one, I put its crafting percent up to the maximum. Anything higher than 140% is just really diminishing returns at that point. You just really don't get anything better for them after that. So 140 is about the threshold. Set your crafting skill there. If you don't care to level your gachas, like with that one, I didn't care to level him. With this one, is a male, he's level 6. I'm going to keep him low as well, so I'm not going to do it. And then when I get a decent female that's a low level, I'm going to keep her low level as well. But this one right here is my best female, my lowest level. I'm going to keep her 43 and not level her up anymore, just in case I ever decide to make a clone. I want the lowest level possible, because the lower level the dino, the cheaper the cost to clone, basically. And then, you know, throw some snow owls into the mix, and you've got you some really good potential to make good element out of the deal. I personally could run a lot of boss fights, obviously, because I have a lot of good dinos. I have a lot of dinos. I mean, a lot of people have like 100 cryo fridges. I've got about 20, but I have some really super powerful top stat lines in there. I've got everything. I've got Theres, I've got Rexes, I've got Karka, I've got Flyers, I've got water dinos, I've got everything pretty much. And I've got some top stat lines, so I could do boss fights all day long if I wanted to. But the thing for me about doing boss fights to get element versus doing a gacha farm is I am just a homebody. I like to hang out in my base and play around and just go out and do some little adventuring when I need something or I want to do something. I'm not the type of person that likes to do artifact runs. I really don't enjoy going in caves that much. I mean, yeah, it's okay. I will do it if I have to, and I have the dinos to make it possible, but I would much rather prefer just to kind of hang out in my base and just build and, you know, breed and do things like that. So the Element Dust Gacha Farm for me is the prime way for me to get element, because as you can see right there, I'm going to have 20-30 element today alone, just from what I've done, and I'm just getting set up. I haven't even put owl pellets into the mix yet because this is all I've collected so far. I just got my owls yesterday and got them off extinction and then brought them back here. And you know, there's one thing I wanted to talk about as well. This whole process with the extinction map was such a nightmare because they only released a few servers and you couldn't get on them at all. You couldn't log in. The minute the servers dropped, they were full instantly, 70 out of 70. They never reset the servers, so the people that got on there would just stay on there, and they would just use macros or rubber band their controller or something, and they would keep themselves from going AFK, and the computer would never register that they were inactive, and it would never kick them. So unless the server crashed, or unless they took it down for maintenance, which they didn't do the first couple days of the extinction release, it was ridiculous. You couldn't get on a server, and the rest of us were just sitting there scratching our eyes out, wanting to get on a server so we could get our gachas, get our snow owls, get our managarmers, get everything we wanted to get on extinction. And we couldn't get on there to do it. We couldn't get on there to claim any land. All the land had already been pillared off and was in the process of being sold on Facebook. I don't really know what point that does because nobody could get on the game to actually use their land they bought, but whatever. And it's just a joke, man. It was just a nightmare. And then like 2 days after they released Extinction, they're like, okay, we're going to drop some new servers for you. They dropped 5 new servers and they were instantly filled and we couldn't get on again. And I'm talking about PvE servers. The thing that really frustrated the PvE players the most is there was 3 times as many PvP servers dropped. And the PvP servers were like 15 of 70, 20 of 70, all of them. None of them were full. And instead of repurposing some of those servers that were not even nowhere near to capacity so that the rest of us 50,000 people that wanted to play could get on, they just left it like that. And that was, man, that was left such a bad taste in my mouth as an Ark player. The developers were like, yeah, we'll see you later, we're going on Christmas break, and everybody else that was home from work and could actually play Ark and could actually have a map that they have been waiting for almost a year now, and then the developers went on holiday. Man, that left a bad taste in all of our mouths because we all were just sitting there and couldn't play, and our time was up and we had to go back to work, and we did not once get on an extinction map. The amount of servers that they dropped winded up being like 7,500 people got the ability to play based on a 70 slot server. I think there was 100 and something servers, 108 or something like that they dropped initially. 7,500 people got to play, and we saw that there were almost 100,000 people wanting to play. The Discord was just lit up with people just sitting around griping and complaining and whining about where's the servers, why can't we play? And the wildcard devs just turned a deaf ear to it all. And man, I was so frustrated over that I'm not going to lie, I almost wanted to quit the game over that, period. Because I just had enough. I almost got to the point that I just had enough, because this has been almost 10 years now of shenanigans and nonsense like this from these developers, and a lot of them have been around for quite a while, so they're no stranger to this. They could have learned from their mistakes so many times over, but they do this every single release. I don't know how many times I have tried to take time off based on a release date that they've set, and it's always a pushback. They never make a release date, and now this debacle with no servers being available for people to play on was ridiculous. And then what was even a bigger slap in the face, other than the PvP servers that needed to be repurposed that were just sitting there empty, was the fact that when they did finally drop some more servers about 5 days later after release, they dropped temporary expiring servers. I mean, give me a break. People that want to play official, they want to get on a server and claim a spot that they may keep for years. This base that I'm in right now, I've had this base since the center released. The first day that the center released, I got this island right here underneath Skull Island, and I've hung on to it since then. And this is where I've stayed, and the tribe left of center has been since day one of the center map. I plan on hanging on to this base as long as I play Ark, probably, because this is the best base I've ever had. It's everything. It's got everything, and the ability to do anything I need to do. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. People that play this game want to get a spot that they can keep for years, and that's why that was such a slap in the face. Those expiring servers kind of have a small purpose, and I get it why they do that, because they allow you to get on them and get the content or the dinos that you're looking to get, but not necessarily want to make a permanent base on. And then you can take them off and take them to your for real base somewhere else. And that way you can at least still get on and get your dinos. I finally had to go to one. And I couldn't even go to a North American one because those were all full. So I had to go to an EU one, which is a completely different region for me. I was playing with a 250 ping, because that was the only way that I could get on Extinction. And I made me a base on Extinction, and as soon as I got what I needed with these gacha and these owls, I was off. And I'll probably just let my base expire on there, because there's nothing more on there for me now, because I've decided that I'm going to keep this base on the center as my main base. I have a base on the island. I have the Redwoods Lake locked down on one of the island servers, and I'm going to hang on to that. So those two bases are going to be all that I really do right now. Now, when Ragnarok releases, I may consider doing something else on Ragnarok. I don't know, because that's a really good map, and I like it a lot. Genesis possibly could convince me to do something else as well, because the element farming on Genesis is just really crazy with the asteroids and stuff. Once I get my gacha farm going, though, I don't know. This may be all I need right here. I'm going to say this may be all I need, because I'm doing so good. There's proof of the pudding right here. I mean, I've got all the black pearls and element I'm going to need now. So it's just going to take me a little bit of work, but that's what I want, because I want to have a reason to play the game. And that's what this has given me back finally. So yeah, that's why I'm happy about it. A lot of griping aside, I know I've been doing a lot of complaining for like 20 minutes probably. But if you play Ark, you get it. You understand why I'm feeling the way I do about it, you know, and you can feel me on that. But I'm going to go ahead and set up my gacha farm. Probably just going to do 4 pairs, because anything more than that is just going to be way too much work with the stone. Stone is going to be how I run mine. I know that there's better options. Ideally, I would like to use plant species Y traps to feed them, but I honestly don't know if I can even get those on a official server or not. I don't know if that's a thing or not. I'm going to have to investigate that, because I honestly don't know. I've used them before, but it was, like I said, it was on unofficial servers. So I don't even know if I can get those on an official server. If anybody knows and you could tell me in the comments, please do. That'd be great. I'd love to hear that. I would love to know that. I need to set up my grinder, because I'm going to get a lot of junk that I don't need. And I can just grind it up. One of the things they did with the gachas that make us so fun to be able to set up a gacha farm with now is they only have to be 10 foundations away from each other. Used to, it was like 16 or 14 or something like that, and that made making a gacha farm pretty cumbersome, pretty impossible. The old way to do it, which was most effective, was to kind of set up some ramps and have them at the top of the ramps and the pairs on each end of a ramp leg. And when they dropped their crystals, they would roll down the ramps down into the middle, and you could collect them all there. Just come up and just pick up the pile once in a while and collect them. That doesn't work like that anymore, though, because with the new Unreal Engine upgrade, the physics engine doesn't allow the crystals to roll like that anymore. So they kind of just, wherever they drop, they stick. And so that doesn't really work anymore. So honestly, the best way to do it now is just to put them 10 foundations apart and, you know, set it up to where you can get the maximum amount in the space that you have. I could put them on the roof. I have plenty of space on the roof where I could set them out there, but I don't really want my gachas exposed to the elements like that, because Ark is Ark and too many things can happen. So I want to put them inside the base so that they're safe. Obviously, I have this big, huge base because in the past I've done a lot of breeding. But I'm just not doing any breeding right now because everything was in storage, and I'm just not in the mood to start up any lines or work on any lines. What I'm really wanting to focus on right now is setting up these gachas, because there's a lot of things I want to do with element that I haven't been able to do because I just haven't been playing the game and earning the element. But now I can earn some element doing something that's actually interesting to me. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set me up probably 4 pair. One here, go over this way about 10 foundations and set a pair about right here. And then go this way about 10 foundations and set a pair about right here. And then go this way and set a pair right in here somewhere. And that's how I'm going to set mine up for now, because like I said, 4 pair is more work than I think I want. I'm going to kind of, excuse me, kind of center it around this donkey hole, because my donkey hole is where I'm going to be unloading all my stone. So I think I'll spread it out to where my gachas are evenly spaced around this donkey hole right here. That way when I unload the stone off him, I don't have to go too far to load them up. I can set up a tech storage box here to hold it all. But there's going to be a lot of times where I want to just pull like 15 stacks out and run it to them and load them up real quick and get them going. I'm going to take my character and probably do a mind wipe and change my stats around, because right now I kind of have it set up for some adventuring. Oh, there went my controller again, sorry. My cord is messed up and it shuts off every now and then. I got my stats set up for a lot of adventuring right now, but I'm probably going to change it around to where I have focus on weight, because while I'm working in the base, I'm going to be shuffling a lot of stone around, and my donkey is going to be fighting anything in the water I need it to fight. And if there's too many alphas out there, which the center does have a lot of alphas, so I have to be careful, I'll just whip out my shark or my mosa or something and go clear and then go farm stone. But my donkey's pretty strong, and it can kill, you know, an alpha shark by itself. More than one might be a little touchy, but it can definitely kill an alpha shark by itself, because donkeys do a lot more damage than people realize. They're actually pretty strong. I put the majority of the stats on mine into weight and a few into stamina, because it's basically just a stone machine and a little bit of melee damage. So yeah, but I'm gonna mind wipe my stats into more of a weight build, probably about 2K or 3K weight, maybe more, and see how that works. I may put some stats into oxygen so that I can swim a little faster when I'm underwater, because I'm gonna be underwater a lot getting stone. And I'll put some stamina in and a little bit of health, but I shouldn't need much more than anything else. Maybe just a few in fortitude, because it does have a tendency to get a little cold here. You can see I got a snowflake right now. If I didn't have at least the fortitude I do, I'd probably maybe even have an ice block right now. But I'm going to change my stats around to do that, so that I can shuffle stone around a lot easier. And that'll be pretty effective once I get it set up. Once I get that set up, I'll make another video and show you guys what it ended up looking like. But I'm going to have to get me some more gachas raised up. I think that's what I'm going to focus on today, is working my gachas that I have and trying to raise up these females right here, so that I can get some more breeders going, so that I can hopefully get lucky and get me some more helmet dust gachas. If I get too desperate and I get in a breeding rut where I'm going through, you know, hundreds of babies a week and I can't get any dust gachas, I may go ahead and clone another one or two just to get going. But for right now, my plans are to just play the game and let the breeding happen as it will, and hopefully we can get some gachas going, some more gachas going, because I'd like to ideally, like I said, have 4 pair. I think that's more than enough to make all the dust that I want to make, because with just 2 pair, I've made 20 to 30 1,000 dust today. Just 4 pair, I could be making 50, 60,000 dust a day. That would be nice. That would be quite comparable. Probably have to spend about an hour a day of that just farming stone, and especially when the rates go back to 1 time. So I'm going to focus and hit it hard for the next few days and try to get as much stone as I can before the rates change, because that's going to definitely change how I work this account. And this is weird. I had a fridge. Oh, there it is. It was hiding behind the vault. It tripped me out for just a minute, because I had a fridge sitting here in the middle of the floor with hundreds of eggs in there, and I was just like, where did that fridge go? I didn't see it hiding behind the vault. It tripped me out. I almost lost my train of thought, because I was like, where's my fridge? That's my kibble egg fridge. Oh man, that's a trip. But anyway, yeah, I think that's going to be awesome. So I can't wait. I'm going to try to set that up, try to get these raised up, get some breeding going on, and I'll bring you back and we'll make another video and see how I'm going to set up the farm. Give you some good ideas and some tips and tricks so that hopefully you can do something really effective for yourself. So hopefully this content has helped you see what's going on and know about the changes in the game, and know that the game's actually looking like it's going to pull out of it, and that Ark may still survive. You know, it's been kind of iffy, but I'm feeling good about Ark again, so I'm going to make content about it again. And I hope you'll join me and follow along and watch my adventures and my misadventures, and give me your thoughts and input in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you got any tips or tricks about how to set up gachas, farms, and the best practices to do when trying to make element dust with your gachas, I'd love to hear it. Because there's so many things about this game to learn that I can't possibly know it all. So I definitely love to hear your feedback. Not one of those type of content creators that has to argue with everything everybody says because I'm always right. I totally listen to your feedback and I appreciate it. So if you got anything to say, teach me. I'm willing to learn. But I do like to make content for you guys, so I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you'll come back and watch some more Ark on the Center with Miranda's Crafter and my Element Gacha farm. Yeah! See you later.